Maia Campbell always had a gift for the arts, and her mother, the late, great Bebe Moore Campbell, would see that.
She got her first big role in Poetic Justice.
I think I was about 15 years old when I took that role.
She would go on auditions, she would go to class, she would always come home with these scenes.
My agent said they wanted me to audition for a show called In the House.
She was, at that time, the every girl teenager.
Towards the end of the show, I had a breakdown.
I know she had an internal battle because she was starting to feel different and she didn't know why.
What bipolar does is it takes you from the highs to the lows.
For her to sit down and accept it, it was really hard. But being the fighter that she is,
she's ready to testify the good, bad, and ugly of her life's journey.
Incredible triumphs, devastating losses, unbelievable chance, and sudden misfortune. Then there was life after.
It's innate in every human being to have a purpose.
You're gonna be a forever star, aren't
Such
you?
extraordinary.
I want to start a whole other genre.
The dynamite thing, man.
You can call it coincidence. I call it the hand of God.
I was born in Tacoma Park, Maryland. My mother was a writer. My dad was an architect. And when they decided to get a divorce, I was about 3 years old. My mom decided to remarry when I was about the age of about 6 years old. We left Tacoma Park. We drove across country with my stepfather, my mother, and I. We drove a Caprice Classic. We used to call it the boat because that car was so big. We made it all the way to sunny California, and I was pretty happy to be in South Central LA for the next couple years of my life.
Maia grew up with her mom and her stepdad in South Central at a time where her mom was growing in popularity as a novelist. She saw the it factor in Maia.
She always had a gift for the arts, and her mother, the late, great Bebe Moore Campbell, would see that.
She had a lot of hopes for me. She had a lot of dreams for me.
Her mother put her in dance classes and acting classes and music classes.
She put me in the choir at church, talent shows at school. I mean, she just wanted me to be perfect. It was hard living up to her ideals for me, but it gave me a sense of accomplishment and it gave me a sense of self-worth to try to be the best that I could be. And it gave me a sense of passion about living my life to a certain level.
Maia Campbell and I, we met at the New Freedom Theater. We were probably 9th, 10th grade. We were dancing, we were singing, we were acting. So one day we were at the mall, and we were just kind of perusing through the shelves, and I'm like looking at books, trying to think of what my next purchase is gonna be. And she just very innocently plucks a book off the shelf and she goes, "Oh, this is my mom." And I look at the book and it's Sweet Summer. And when I tell you that my mouth was on the ground, I was like, "Bebe Moore Campbell is your mother?" And she was like, "Oh yeah." She was like, "Don't buy the book." She said, "My mom's picking me up in 2 weeks. I'll have her bring you a copy and I'll get it autographed for you."
Bebe Moore Campbell is a celebrated novelist, a multi-New York Times bestseller winner. She even won the NAACP Image Award.
I couldn't believe for the whole summer I've been hanging out with this girl, and her mom was like one of the most famous writers that I knew.
Well, like I said, I grew up in South Central, and my mother wanted more for me than what was being offered right there within the neighborhood. She got me into a school outside of the neighborhood.
So she really did have her in the best school. She went to Crossroads, I remember. And that was a really big deal for her to get into that school and to travel from Los Angeles to Santa Monica. You know, every day her mom drove her back and forth to school.
It was the best education I could get for that time period in my life.
All of Maia's hard work paid off, and she got her first big role in a big screen movie that's kind of iconic in our community called Poetic Justice.
I think I was about 15 years old when I took that role with John Singleton, Tupac Shakur, and Janet Jackson. So it was amazing for me to have an opportunity to work with such greatly talented people.
That was a really awesome experience for her. I think that was kind of what started kind of the fire that then pushed her forward in her acting career.
It gave me a lot of hope for my future because it showed me everything you can do in this business.
It gave really the world its first view of a promising young talent.
When Maia was a teenager, she got her first TV show.
You really got the sense in South Central that she could do comedy.
She really came into her own. I got a call from Quincy Jones' office. My agent said they wanted me to audition for a show called In the House. I got diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and no one could figure out what was really bothering me and really tearing me apart. This is Baldwin Hills. They call it the Black Beverly Hills. This is the house I grew up in right here.
It's really nice. So what was it like in the neighborhood? Like, will people be waiting outside for you? And...
Yeah, people will be waiting outside for autographs when I got home.
Are you serious?
Yes, but I had a lot of memories here. I had a lot of good times. My mom came in and there was a guy in my house that wasn't supposed to be there. So he was crawling under the table, trying to hide from my mother. And she flipped on the light. She said, "Who is in this house?" I was like, "I'm sorry, Mama. I'm sorry. It will never happen again."
When Maia was a teenager, her family financially was doing exceptionally well. They were able to move from South Central to Baldwin Hills. And she also got her first TV show. And it was on a show called South Central, ironically, where she was from.
It starred Lorenz Tate as a young man growing up in South Central, but her character did not live in South Central.
Her name was Nicole, and she came from the other side of the tracks, the nicer side of the tracks.
Nicole, it's your boy from the hood.
And what's wrong? Your phone broke? Yeah, I haven't spoken to you since Monday.
Well, you said everything was on pause.
I meant sex, not the relationship.
Well, what's the difference?
Oh, see, what's the difference? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Andre.
Girl, hang up. Why are you wasting your time on that Kmart gangster? Let's call Devin.
You know what? I'm gonna have to let you go.
So you really got the sense in South Central that she could do comedy, but that she could probably also do drama. And not only do drama, but do drama well.
Get the hell away from me!
What's wrong with you?
You could have gotten us killed, Andre. What if he would have had a gun? What would you have done then? You would have shot him?
I didn't shoot anybody.
No, not this time.
Look, what am I supposed to do? I mean, he was that up in your face and he was disrespecting you.
He said move!
And he pushed me.
Now, you gonna shoot me?
The good thing about that show was that the world doesn't get to see South Central in a realistic light. They look at the stereotypical aspects of living in a poverty-stricken neighborhood.
Look, the only reason I carry this thing is for protection when I come to see you.
You carry that because you think it makes you hard, straight rough. Yeah, no. You're nothing but a punk.
She really came into her own doing that part of Nicole.
At that point, I graduated high school and I moved to New York. And I moved in with Cherie Johnson.
She was taking a acting class.
I was going to American Academy of Dramatic Arts.
And Maia, every day, would wear like a dress, because she always wears dresses. And rollerblades.
I would rollerblade every day from the Upper East Side all the way downtown.
She would go on auditions, she would go to class, she would always come home with these scenes that she wanted me to rehearse with her, which was always a ball of fun.
We were basically subletting this apartment.
Unfortunately, they found out that they were illegally subletting and they got evicted. Luckily, Maia was able to call her mom for help.
Mom, we got evicted and I need to move pronto. And she said, well, why don't you try to go to a school called Spelman? I never thought that Georgia would have anything to offer me, but I was wrong.
Spelman was a great opportunity for Maia. This is a place that has produced some amazing African-American women.
But in entertainment in particular, Spelman had a great drama school.
When I went to Spelman, I met with the second Black woman to direct on Broadway. Her name was Glenda Dickerson. She had trained Debbie Allen. She had trained Felicia Rashad at Howard.
Glenda, she didn't take any prisoners. You were in her class, you were studying, she was very demanding, she had rituals.
She was fierce. You couldn't get out of her class without feeling
the emotions that she wanted you to feel and really drawing these things out of you.
She considers that training some of her best training. Debbie Allen also considers Glenda Dickerson to be one of the greats.
Miss Debbie Allen came down to Spelman to do a residency, which is working with the kids, trying to pull us together into a show. And we ended up doing a show called Sparkle.
And Maia Campbell was cast as the lead.
After Sparkle, I got a call from Quincy Jones' office. My agent said they wanted me to fly back to LA and audition for a show called In the House.
She's like, I gotta leave Spelman. And she said, but I'm gonna go for it. And I said, you totally should.
I wanted the part and I nailed it. And that's where everything began.
Maia ultimately landed a role in the House.
Tiffany Warren is a little bit quirky. She's a little bit silly.
She was the every girl teenager.
Towards the end of the show, I had a breakdown.
She was starting to feel different, and she didn't know why.
And instead of trying to help her, you know, people abused her.
Thank you for inviting me out here today. I haven't been out here in years.
It's no problem.
I'm trying to get back with my routine. How do you do this every other day?
Well, this is where I come to clear my mind.
So you actually make it all the way up to the top? Because
no, I don't always make it up to the top. Nobody said that.
Getting down to the business side of things, are you really ready to come back into this industry?
Corey, absolutely. I miss it so much. I mean, I've been waiting for a long time to get back into this game, so there's nothing stopping me. Once I get my foot in the door, it's on.
Absolutely.
Maia ultimately landed a role in the House, and the show had a very unique premise. Debbie Allen played a mom of 2 young kids who was a recent divorcee, and LL Cool J was a football player who was injured, and he ends up renting out his house to this new family.
The character Tiffany Warren is a little bit quirky, she's a little bit silly, she's a little bit sassy, she's a little bit unique.
She was, at that time, the every girl teenager. You know, she just wanted to be out, she wanted to party, she wanted to leave her little brother behind.
I loved being on the set. I was just nurtured and loved and appreciated. It felt like I had a second family. It felt like I had a second home.
She would just have gifts for me. I'd have new sneakers or I'd have books. She was always really sweet and really nice to me, and she's been my big sister ever since.
I definitely thought she put a lot of her own personality into it, and that's what really made Tiffany shine.
She was socially conscious, she dressed nice, and she really gave a good pictorial of what a young Black woman should be.
Towards the end of the show, I had a breakdown. I got diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And no one could figure out what was really bothering me and really tearing me apart.
I know she had an internal battle because she was starting to feel different and she didn't know why.
What bipolar does is it takes you from the highs to the lows. You're searching for a middle ground, and you're looking for some place to balance your life.
There's a lot of stigma, specifically in the Black community, around mental illness. You know, it's like, oh, she's just crazy. No, she has a problem.
There's the idea that, oh, that's a white person's issue. They get that. And so in trying to find, you know, help and deal with this, she may have suppressed it.
I couldn't say what it was stemming from. It could have been started from when I was a child, and it just now started to show itself. It was gonna be something that I had to take care of for the rest of my life.
For her to sit down and accept it, it was really hard. But being the fighter that she is, she continued to work.
I think that she found a way to just kind of figure out how to get her job done and deal with it off the camera, deal with it out of the scenes.
Maia began to do a lot of guest appearances on different shows.
Sister.
Beverly Hills 90210.
Moesha.
She even did some wonderful films, including a funny turn as the dream girl in Trippin'.
She was even nominated for a Young Artist Award for In the House.
And then she did this wonderful stage piece, Friends and Lovers.
I met Maia in 2004 for Friends and Lovers, a musical that we did that toured, that was a national tour.
It was about a girl and a guy and another girl. And you know how that story goes.
Oh, hell no! Oh, what the?
Hi, Miss Shelby.
What are you doing in my house?
Your house, huh? Well, I wouldn't get too comfortable here if I were you.
Girl, you better get out of my house before I drag you out.
Oh, is that a threat?
That's a fact.
Oh, please.
She knows how to bring it all on stage. We were really strong rivalries on stage. Like, we hated each other. And she made it very easy in a scene to be natural.
While Maia was still working, yet dealing with her illness, her mom was diagnosed with cancer and lost the battle with cancer.
Your mother leaving you when you're a mama's girl is hard enough, but your mother leaving you and you're dealing with this mental health issue that you're not used to having to deal with, I can't imagine.
And when you begin to see things in your life disappear, and you were at one point the hottest thing ever, you begin to lose the confidence that you once had. So I think it's a lot easier to slip into a side that you never thought you would go to.
And Hollywood can be a very cruel place. You know, where she was way up here, now she's down here, and instead of trying to help her, you know, people abused her.
Every time you blink, there's a camera in your face, and people aren't throwing those cameras in your face to see your good times. They don't care about that. They want to catch you fall.
Unfortunately, we're a society that we want to know, what was it? Oh my God, that was really bad. Let me see more about it.
People were drawn to seeing her. You know, this girl who looked so perfect and beautiful on TV, out of sorts, you know, in her personal life. And that really took a toll.
At this rock bottom place in her life, having lost so much from having gained so much, she was ready to build herself back up.
I'm proud of the way that she's handling everything that's happened in her life.
She's ready to testify the good, bad, and ugly of her life's journey.
She's using her mental illness as a platform to say, look what I've overcome.
It's innate in every human being to have a purpose. I'm good. I'm in the process of moving. So I'm taking my whole life and I'm putting it in a box and I'm moving and packing it up and I'm trying to get my career started again, basically.
I'm proud of the way that she's handling and has handled everything that's happened in her life. The past is the past, and she just wants to move forward and continue to grow and continue to love and be loved.
Where are you moving to?
Hollywood Hills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She had the courage to stop doing those things that she knew was damaging her spirit and her mind and her body. Go get the help she needed, stay connected to her family, and bring her to this point where she's here.
It's a multitude of things that I'm doing, staying around the right people, staying around closer to my family.
For the strength that you have
Yes.
and that you continue to show, and we all love you, and that's never going to change.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Cheers.
Yes,
Don't drink your Shirley Temple too fast.
Okay.
There you go.
In 2004, my mother wrote a book called 72 Hour Hold, a memoir of our relationship together.
Though it is a fictional book, it is about the struggle she was going through with Maia at the time.
She definitely has the gene from her mama. She is a great storyteller. And I think that's where it starts, a great storyteller and a vivid imagination.
She's writing 2 different books. One is about her personal experience and one is a fiction tale.
It's basically a story about a girl named Callie Carter that went and got herself locked up, and she's in the hospital, and she has all these different memories and dreams and of her childhood, and she goes through life kind of living in the past.
I think that she's using her mental illness as a platform to say, look what I've overcome.
It's innate in every human being to have a purpose. That's what acting is for me. That's what theater is for me. That's what the function of working in the entertainment field has been for me for all these years.
She can sing, she can write, she can act, she can dance.
I'm sure we'll see her in many more stage plays, sitcoms, reality TV. The girl just simply has it.
Life after for Maia Campbell will be as bright as the spotlight that was on her as a child.
People do want to see someone else get better. The fact that she has, daily people just saying how much they love her. You won't have people saying how much they love you if you're not doing something to be loved for.
She's already won. Just for her to be here today, she's won.
We all have losses, we all have downfalls, but we all see those mountains. And Maia, she's not far from the top of that mountain.
People want to know what's next for me. I'm at peace. I'm at peace with myself. I'm at peace with the world. I just want to live my life and be happy and be healthy. That's all I can ask for.